In a quaint village nestled between lush green hills, there lived an elderly sage named Aiko. People from far and wide sought his wisdom, for he was known for his profound knowledge and serene demeanor. One day, a troubled young man named Kenta arrived at his humble abode seeking guidance. Kenta was tormented by his volatile emotions. He felt like a leaf in the wind, blown hither and thither by every passing emotion. Happiness, anger, sadness, and fear seemed to dictate his life, and he yearned to find peace within himself. Aiko welcomed Kenta with a warm smile and invited him to sit under a large cherry blossom tree in his garden. As they sat together, Kenta poured out his heart. Expressing his inner turmoil and frustration, listening patiently, Aiko then took a small empty jar and a handful of pebbles, each one representing an emotion. He placed the jar before Kenta and said, "Kenta, imagine this jar as your heart, and these pebbles as your emotions. Each time you feel a strong emotion, you add a pebble to the jar. As the jar fills, so does your heart." Kenta nodded, understanding the analogy. Aiko continued, "Now, observe what happens when you let these emotions control you." He handed Kenta a tiny cup of water. With a solemn expression, Kenta dropped a pebble into the jar for every emotion he felt, watching as the water level rose. Soon, the jar overflowed, and water spilled onto the ground, soaking the earth around them. Kenta looked distressed, realizing how his emotions were affecting not just himself but also those around him. Aiko then asked Kenta to try a different approach. He handed him another empty jar and said, "This time, control your emotions. Allow them to pass through you without being attached to them." Kenta nodded again and, with a calm and composed demeanor, dropped the pebbles into the jar, but this time, he stopped before it reached the brim. Amazed by the change, Kenta looked at Aiko, who smiled and said, "See, when you control your emotions, they no longer overwhelm you. You can acknowledge them without being consumed by them. Your heart remains calm, and you can experience true peace within." With this newfound understanding, Kenta felt a weight lifted off his shoulders. He thanked Aiko for his invaluable wisdom and pledged to practice controlling his emotions diligently. From that day forward, Kenta returned to the village as a changed man. He faced life's ups and downs with grace, realizing that he held the power to control his emotions and, in doing so, live a harmonious and fulfilling life. And so, the village became a place of greater serenity, all thanks to the profound lesson imparted by the wise sage Aiko.